Happy Friday. My mic was muted. I thought I was hacked. That goes in alignment with our discussion today. Small business and cybersecurity. Had to make sure my system was secure. Indeed, somebody muted the microphone and I didn't do it myself. What's going on? As a small business owner, we have to make sure that our systems are secure as well. There was a survey done by SurveyMonkey, and they found out that small business owners are not taking the time to really be certain that their systems are secure. So, not really concerned enough about our systems can be a concern. We should be more concerned about our computer systems. And, who is a survey, right, to tell us what we should be concerned about? But it is disappointing that cybersecurity is a challenge. Cybersecurity and system failures and information hacks and customer information being leaked can put a business out of business. Cybersecurity hacks cost businesses billions. So information hacks to a small business, is extremely important that we protect our systems, that we protect our customer information. And I think as a financial service provider, that my firm is so heavily regulated that having cybersecurity is just part of the process. So I kind of take it for granted because we're required to have cybersecurity. But for other small businesses, depending on what industry you're in, it might not be a regulatory requirement for you to have your customer information protected. So because the government might not require that you have customer information required, does that mean that you should not have your customer information protected? Of course not. We definitely must have the customer information protected. So, let's look at the survey before we get into, some things that we can do to protect our businesses from being hacked. So again, today's topic is business and cybersecurity. How to protect your business from from cybersecurity, issues, because we just don't want them in the first place. So I am indeed, and I should say, because some of you might not know, this is the Afro Economics Business Network, and I do this every Friday at noon, and I've decided that I should open it up to the public. So I share this information with the Afro Economics members each Friday at noon. And so I just decided that I'm doing this at noon for our members only. And then I said, well, I can open this up to our extended members as well. So the Afro Economics Business Network is now available to you. Make sure that you go to afroeconomics.com. Take advantage of the complimentary membership that is available. And then the entrepreneurship membership is an upgrade from there, so that we can have our one-on-one membership, our one-on-one discussions. In the entrepreneurship membership, I created to give business owners an opportunity to have a financial advisor as your team member. When I started my business in 1995, I did not have anyone in financial services to partner with West East. I didn't have anyone to talk to about what is the best forum for my business, what type of business entity should my business have, how to, approach cybersecurity for my business, how to plan for my business tax return, how to, all of the financial questions of how to set up my business retirement account, how to plan for my business transition if I, one day want to sell my business. I work on business evaluation, business financing, business, all of the financial issues that you have as a business owner or a business wannabe business owner. So as a registered investment advisory firm and as an investment advisor, that's what I do. So the entrepreneurship membership is for a person with that entrepreneurship mindset. So definitely, if you want to take your business to the next level or your own financial life to the next level, take advantage of it. So this is the opportunity for members only to also come into, the studio. So the studio link at the noontime is for the members only to come into the, studio, and we'll have like a studio. In the studio, we'll have a discussion with some members. And then in the, also in the session where you'll see like Ms. Daniels is a member, but she's at work. So she's just chatting online. So you can do whatever is best for you. Oh, how you doing? Good afternoon, right back at you. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions, definitely make sure, and Mr. Williams, I see you in there. I look forward to you signing up as a member, when we getting to know you, and then definitely getting some information on what your goals are. How are you doing, Mr. Robinson? Indeed. I see my husband in the studio as well. He is a business owner as well. We got business ownership all over in the family. So protecting your business and your customers. I'm sorry that I hope that it didn't cut that off, but a big part of the title is protecting your customers. It cuts it off for me. But it's small businesses and cybersecurity, protecting your company and your customers. So so when the survey was done, it was talking about what are the fears of small businesses or the biggest risk to businesses right now. The only 5% of the businesses said that they actually were worried about cybersecurity attacks, even though, most Americans said that they feel like within the next year that American businesses are going to have an attack on American businesses on American businesses through using computers and a cyber attack of American businesses. So if most people feel that there's going to be a cyber attack, but yet business owners are saying, but it's not a big concern to me. Interesting. So the labor shortage was a 10% concern. COVID was a little bit higher at 12%. Inflation was at 20%. And the supply chain disruptions was for second quarter, this past quarter, 2022, the highest concern for small businesses at almost 40%. not getting the supplies that they need, not, cybersecurity. And basically, it was written that cybersecurity has consistently ranked as an afterthought for most small business owners when doing a risk assessment. Isn't that something? The smallest of small businesses were the least concerned about cyber attacks. Saying that, that they, didn't feel that cyber threats were a risk to them. They were basically disconnected from the feeling of, that someone could come in and get their information off their computer systems. Customers' expectations for cyber preparedness vary from different industries to industry. So the majority of people say that they are confident about banks. So they feel that 71% of the customers surveyed said that they feel that banks are prepared they do have cyber connection, which is interesting because I was doing something for a client and I needed the bank to, and this was a particular credit union based out of Washington, D.C., and I needed them to send a letter to me with specific client information, and I needed them to put it on their letterhead to have information with the client's balance and everything, and for them to sign it saying, the confirming the amount of money in the client's account. And they to sit there said, well, I'm going to email it to the customer. And I said, how is the client going to receive it? Are they going to, what type of information are they going to have to sign in order for them to have to open it up? And they said, well, I'm going to send it to them via email using DocuSign, which is, I use DocuSign, but they're not going to have to do anything to open it up, but accept it. I said, so you're going to use the service that requires you identify yourself, but you're not going to require any security feature to it. And she said, yes, that is correct. And I said, so you are a major financial institution, one of the larger, federal credit unions, and you're going to send this document to my customer, and she's not going to have to require to provide any financial or any type of identifying information in order to open this document that has specific information about her financial information on it. She said, that is correct. And I repeated it. And she said, yes. And on their phone line. And then she sent it to the client that way, sent it out in the email without any requirement. But yet, 70% of the people feel that banks are confident that their banks are prepared for cyber, attacks. And that right there is putting the customer at risk. And I said it to her. I said that you realize that this is putting the client at risk. She said, yes, but this is the way that we're going to send it to her, and was real snappy with it. And and they said financial care providers, 64%. Healthcare providers, 64%. Email providers, 55%. And then 32% of the people surveyed said that they feel that social media platforms are prepared for cybersecurity, attacks. But there was something I saw, I think it was today, was saying that, something about Twitter. I was having problems with their platform, and it could have been a cyber attack. but I don't think people could log in or something like that. So even though, the it is, I think actually that it is more likely, just in that example, that my firm being smaller is more required to do things to protect the customer than that major credit union is required to do. Like, she's doing something that my firm would not have done and would not have exposed a customer to. But yet people would think that that firm being that company or um that federal institution being larger would not do something like that to allow, that type of information or that type of risk to a customer. And the customer itself is assuming that when the company is bigger, that it's taking extra steps to make sure that customers' information is not being exposed, and not to cyber risk. And it's really, frightening, to think that we are exposed to that type of, risk. And when things go wrong, the customer is not really compensated. Is not, does not receive the does not receive the any money, and correctly. Like, even when their information is shared, and all they receive is like access to checking your credit on a regular basis or something like that, and then, but it should have never happened. It should not have happened. And they know better than that. And then, so why did this happen? And why are you doing this? And why, especially in a situation like that, when you have another financial professional that's telling you, why are you sending their information out like this without at least asking her to put in her last 4 digits or something, that you should have caught it? Like, you're being, right now, you can easily ask her, to put in a PIN or some identifying information. Don't send that. Somebody else could go into her email and pull up that information at a later date. Or are you going to only allow one person to open the email? Is it going to self-destruct? Is it going to go away? Is it only going to be there for 1 day? What are you going to do to protect the customer from someone else being able to see their information? So cybersecurity is very important for your commitment to your customers. And having a commitment to cybersecurity shows how much you care, in my opinion, for your customers. So as a small business owner, when you say, we, have cybersecurity, like that, that my firm, even as a small firm, like, has a cybersecurity program, and that it's designed to regularly check, am I opening emails that are sending me bad emails that are fake? And if I open an email that is a fake, then I have to do a certain training that, tells me how to not open emails that are fake. But it triggers, you've opened a bad email. Now you have to go and do this particular training class. Like, but that, and paying for that particular training and having that particular program, that is an investment. And that requires me having that cybersecurity program and making that investment in protecting me and my customer information. And being committed to having that training. So the key, number one part of your small business is training yourself and your employees on cybersecurity and having a commitment to it. That I want to have this protection, that this is important to my business. And everybody's business will have different types of cybersecurity, because some businesses will have a lot of people working from home. Some people don't. In my firm, I'm the only one that works from home. Nobody else works from home. But that's my policy. But other companies have different ways that they do things. But if you have people that are working from home, logging into your network, doing different things, and mobility is an issue, you have to have different law compliance issues, different ways, different things, ways on how you're handling things. How you do things, how your policy is. Have a specific cybersecurity policy for your company. You have to have that commitment to it. It's I think that we are taught as businesses that if that word small is in front, that our business really doesn't matter. But that the majority of businesses in the world, that word small is in front of it by definition of what the government would consider small. No, so that's that's the 90%. But because a lot of this, the small businesses make up businesses. So your businesses, if we don't take our small businesses seriously, businesses will not continue to exist, because every business that does exist started, right? They all started. So you have to, start here. You have to start here. And if you have to operate, functionally, you have to function efficiently at this level in order to function efficiently at other levels. So, I think that there's so many big inefficient businesses. Like I was telling you about that federal, credit union that has this employee sending out these, forms and letters with all this customer information with no cybersecurity and customer information protection policy. No PIN numbers, no way of protection, no commitment to protecting the customer information at all. Like these, that you'd be the customer would be so much better off working with a small company that had a commitment to protecting their information. Well, I guess that's what she's doing, because she's taking the money from them and getting my help. But, but it's because it's about efficient help to the customer and protecting the customer. So training is very important. Training, establishing a way to secure your firm and client and customer information, cybersecurity, training your staff, your team on security, cybersecurity, and your principles for your company. How are you going to, how are they going to make sure that they have strong passwords? What are going to be the guidelines for accessing the internet? What are the company's guidelines for accessing the internet? How do they protect customer information and their data? because obviously that company that I was talking about, they didn't tell her what the policy is on protecting customer information. That could have been anybody on that phone asking for that customer's information. Anything could happen between there and that email. So she could have at least said the receiver of that email needs to make sure they know that person's birth date, at least, or last 4 digits of your social, something. So train people properly. Protect information, protect computers, protect your networks from attacks from the outside. Right? So we got to have the latest stuff. Like we can't have like the things that are for, protection. So we have this virus software, but we haven't updated it, since pre-COVID times. You got antivirus software, but it's from 6 years ago. Right? Right? Good afternoon, right back at you. Like if you have if you're going to do this, we have to do it right. So if you have the malware, the antivirus stuff, and you have the system, make sure that you have the updated information. If something pops up on the computer and they go, this has about to expire in 30 days, then, check that out. Get the service agreement. Get the service agreement with the system, and and log in and talk to the service provider and on the system. Especially, it really doesn't cost that much to have the service agreement for 5 or 6 different computers that come with the service agreement, and you have 5 or 6 in your office. And it can be all covered under that same plan. And then and each one needs to be updated. Get them all in alignment, and they're all updated at the same time. Get everybody in there. It's just a matter of organization and commitment. It really is. Correct, Ms. Muhammad? Just about, getting organized and getting an understanding. And if it's, I don't understand this stuff, but I do need to get it. Remember that time when a virus got on your computer, and, the stuff is real. It would just get in there. But once something like that happens and you fix it, you realize, like, I'm not clicking on this stuff anymore. You will not do it again. You will not do it again. You'll learn the hard way. Like, okay, you won't do it. Get the viruses off and install virus protection, because if you have like the virus protection, it will stop you from clicking on stuff like that, because they will say, whoa, this is a bad website. This is a bad, it will catch it if you have some good virus protection on your computer. That's what it's for. If the antivirus software is updated properly. And that's why we have to keep it, on there and keep it updated. Right. So but that's what the computer cybersecurity experts, that's what they do. You just get a service agreement with where you buy your computer from, and you say, I want to make sure that I protect my business systems from cyber attacks and I want to protect the system, and then you do it. That's it. And you keep it updated. And you say, I want to maintain my systems once a year, every 6 months, whatever you have, and they can do that right from where they are. And they just come into each of your computers and they make sure that they're operating properly. And they get the garbage off. Yes. And so definitely firewalls, internet protections, the internet is very important. And now we're like accessing the internet, from anywhere. We're just doing it. Yeah. With Jordan, like we should not be just going into places like Starbucks on your business laptop computer and just going into Starbucks and using their Wi-Fi just because it's free. Don't do it. If you have to take care of business, use your cell phone. Make sure that your cell phone can be used as a hotspot. You know why I'm saying that? Do you know why I'm saying use your phone as a hotspot? Not the free Wi-Fi. So next week I'm going to Miami. I'm not using the free Wi-Fi anywhere. My phone is my Wi-Fi. My cell phone is my Wi-Fi. And I have unlimited data on my cell phone. Why would I use someone's free Wi-Fi? Why would I do that? Why would I expose my clients to free Wi-Fi? Exactly. Look, and everybody come in and go, what's your Wi-Fi? Do you have Wi-Fi? Who's the Wi-Fi? What's the Wi-Fi? And if somebody's in that room that's a hacker, they can get, and so you're on their free Wi-Fi. You're on their free Wi-Fi. A hacker can look right at what you're doing. And you're going all into your banking info, and you're doing all into your Facebook account. You're looking into your checking account. And if you're going into your customers' accounts, they're looking at your customers' account. So you're just, so just because you want to do something for cheap, you have to use your hotspot. You tell your employees they can never do that. They cannot. So that's why you have to be careful when you're allowing your employees to access your customer, your company info away from the office. Because they might not be conscious of that, and that's why training is so important. So free Wi-Fi is not your friend when you're worried about confidentiality. I was hoping that everybody was like, yeah, I know that. Y'all should know that. Yes. And then, so mobile, like going from place to place, like, and taking your, like we love this mobility and all of that, but it creates additional risk, especially if you are logging in to these public Wi-Fi networks. That's a problem. So don't use them. Backup data if you're downloading stuff and these things are important. get backups of stuff, the but you got to know what's important that you might need, backups of. And the cloud, I tell y'all, like, we use the cloud a lot. Yeah, it's free for a reason, right? Exactly. When when you access this free Wi-Fi, there's something in there where you're clicking where it says, like, you don't know, but you're clicking something that says you're going in at your own risk, I'm sure. Like, the because that you're on your own. The Yes, indeed. No. This is all you. But yes. Okay. What I'm saying, but the but and about backing up data and using the cloud, the cloud is, if is wonderful thing, but I do feel like it makes us a little comfortable, because it probably is good if it's really important. We probably need to have a hard drive copy of it too. Um, or still a printed out copy of it. Like, things to me that are really important, I still have it in paper form. And what I need to do is take the paper form and scan it in. Yeah, scan in the paper form so that you have that on the cloud. Scan in your paper form, have it on the cloud. But but your cloud is at, risk. You want to make sure that everything that you have on the cloud, that you have your passwords protected. But it's interesting because your clouds, you need to have like second level authentication when you're accessing things that you have saved out there on the cloud. But the things that are saved on the cloud, I like that when my clients go and save stuff in their cloud, it sends me a notification, because I had a client that passed away and she would use the cloud, and she had saved her cloud password and she passed away. So someone found her password, and they started going into her account. So I text her phone and I said, "Are you going into her cloud? Are you going into her cloud?" And they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah." And then they never did it again. But I was glad that it sends me a notice of when someone's doing that. But it's you definitely be careful where you leave your stuff, where you leave your passwords. Because interesting enough, you do need to have, now at this point, a digital estate plan. You do need to have like a cybersecurity estate. Like, if something happens to you, how will someone access, your stuff, and for cybersecurity access, right? Because they won't be able to get to the things that you have up there, unless it's like something that, if they have a relationship with someone like me, and unless they have, like, you've made them your executive of your estate, because if you pass, your power of attorney ends. They have to be on your estate. to, after death. So it's interesting. Interesting. The so the so for cybersecurity, I guess be careful where you write your passwords down. So the one point I was saying is training your people and then protecting, your information by having the virus protection, the malware, the firewalls, the having a mobile device action plan, like where you going to access things if you have a whole bunch of mobile devices being used at your company. What's where can they use it? Do you have to do they have to have some encryption apps are on the mobile devices? Like there's apps that can help so that with the mobile devices that you can get now to help you with cybersecurity on your mobile devices. Password protect the mobile devices. These are important for you. So if you have employees going around with mobile devices with information about your business on the mobile device, or you as the boss have your business information on your mobile device and you don't have a password on it, you're putting your business at risk. No? And then sometimes you might be requiring things of your people, but you're not holding yourself accountable to that same level because you don't think it could happen to you. So you could be sloppier than you are requiring others to be, and that would be really bad. We have to make sure that we're doing more than what we're asking others to do. We really have to be that way. Another good rule is to have, backup copies of, our data that we have on the computers, and the having knowing that it's very important to secure all of the, especially the Wi-Fi networks. Right? If how do we secure the Wi-Fi networks? Talk to the Wi-Fi people that do it. Make sure that you only let people go into it that have the password, have a password protection, to the and just make sure that you talk to the Wi-Fi network provider about how do I make sure that this is secure, encrypted, hidden, whatever is the industry best way to secure my Wi-Fi network. What do I need to do? I also have Ethernet access. So I have Wi-Fi, but I also have at least this is what I consider my studio. So when here when I'm doing my main presentations, I like to use Ethernet because Wi-Fi is too intermittent. I'll be streaming. Sometimes you're just streaming and Wi-Fi will just go out. And I was telling you all last week that when you're streaming Ethernet, I believe it increases your chances of success. So do all you can to increase your success. If you're doing presentations, depending on Wi-Fi, is, amazing if you're going to do that. Because Wi-Fi will just freeze you up and you're done. And I see it do it to customers like all the time. They're coming in and coming it out like Wi-Fi would just do it. But if I'm on this Ethernet, like unless I did something stupid like pull the cable out or whatever, this Ethernet is going to stay the course. But if it messes up, it's something generally that I did, like pulled it out and didn't realize what I did. The also, like, you can set up things in your systems that protect your customer information. So, but a lot of times you don't take the steps that are necessary to protect the customer. So you have too many employees that have access to information that they don't need to have access to. So, so when, like, just say you have a computer system and, an employee comes in, and when they log in, they come in and they're just logging in to say that they came into work, but they don't work in the accounting department. So they don't need to have access to accounting information. But your system is set up that when people log in, they have access to everything when they log in to show their hours. And someone figures that out. That when they log in to do their hours, they have access to everything. So when they come in to do their hours, the person who is smart, they figure that out and they go in and they realize that so-and-so person gets paid more than they do. And then they get mad because so-and-so who, gets paid more than they do. And it's so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. And that's only because you have it set up that they have access to everything because you never took the time to make sure that the operating system was set up so that they had the access only to what they were supposed to have access to. So cybersecurity is really only as smart as the person who takes the time to set up, the system correctly. So, definitely, take the time to set up, the system so that everybody's information, because now the employee whose information has been disclosed that now is going to get bullied because the other employee finds out that they get paid more, even though they've been doing great work and the other person didn't show up for 2 weeks in a row. So they missed a promotion or whatever. And the other person's going to get bullied because of that. You know what I mean? And they're getting bullied because of you not having the system correct to protect their financial information. Now, 4 weeks later, they have to quit their job because they've been bullied for the last 4 weeks about being paid too much. That's sad. They might sue you because their information shouldn't have been shared. They might sue you. And depending on what they look like, they might win the case. So you have to be very, very careful. Be careful. And the limit access to data and information, limit authority. Correct. And install, your software and your operating system properly. And then my final point would be just to set up the passwords and set up like multi-factor authentication that requires passwords and additional information that that and also like I have part of my cybersecurity service that the company that I hire to provide my cybersecurity regular compliance and protection. They check the people that I do business with. So if there's companies that I'm going into accessing, I tell them about, and they check that vendor. So there's certain things that need to be checked about the vendors that I'm accessing or sharing client information with and things like that. So I have to investigate. So they investigate the vendors that I'm exposed to that handle the sensitive data that I have. So that's, really important, especially in the financial service industry. So, and I do a lot of multi-level, multi-factor authentication all day long, getting different passwords, getting different codes, different things sent to me in different forms and two different things to my cell phone and different stuff. But, I've gotten used to it now. It just is what it is. But but if that's what it takes in order to protect my firm, to protect my clients, that think about the hell that someone must have gone through for this to have to exist. And I just thank God that I'm not the victim, and my client is not the victim that had to have gone through something very bad for things to be the way that they are now. So, you know what I mean? It's better to be the one who is going through the protective strategies than being the one that it happened to. Correct? Correct. So let's make sure we protect ourselves so we're not the one that it happened to. If you ever have any questions about building your business, taking your business to the next level, investing, finding any financial strategies, don't hesitate to check out jbbryan.com, afroeconomics.com. I look forward to helping you in any way that I can. I'm here for you. And today's topic was small business and cybersecurity, protecting your company and your customers. I look forward to keeping in touch. I will see you, next Friday, same time, same place. Maybe not, because I'll be in Miami next week. But if I feel up to it, but I might not. But I will definitely be back soon. Miami might take me away, but if I'm not, just know that I'm having fun. I look forward. But thank you for this Friday. Take it one Friday at a time. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. jb@jbbryan.com. I'm gonna put my so my email will be up here, so you'll have it. Oh, thank you. It's frugal. Thank you so much, sweetie little girl. You always be a little girl to me. All grown up. Thank you. Man, oh, thank you, Mr. Jefferson. Thank you so much. It's indeed celebrating Mr. Robinson's birthday. It's something else. Enjoy, y'all. Thank you. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.